Now that we've separated all of our tracks and we have our timing just the way we want it, the important thing is we have to get this over to Harmony. Now, what might not be obvious is if we exported these as single tracks at this point, everything would start at the exact same moment, even though we have these actually separated out on time. Now, the reason this is there are these blank spaces here, and they're going to be ignored. So imagine having to get to Harmony and re-space out everything that we had already worked for in Audacity. So I want to show you how we avoid that. I'll start with the top track here for the bartender. I'm going to get rid of this space. So I'm going to do that by selecting both of these. Simply double click on one. And if I hold down my shift key, I'm going to get that little icon. And the selection is actually snapping right to the end. So I'm going to join these. I'm going to do simply Command J. That's Control J on PC. And the trick is you can't necessarily do that for Camper or the Bounty. And this is mainly because they start off with nothing here. So I'm simply going to double click. Now that's selected everything except for that very first space. But I can still do Command J. And so we've got that taken care of. So to get the other part, I want to come over here to the end, click and drag just a little bit. And I've got that little finger icon again, so I'll push that all the way up to the beginning. And let's go to Generate Silence. I'm going to click OK. And now I'll hold down my Shift key and click the entire track. So we have the silence at the beginning and then where Camper is speaking, and we'll do Command J. So those are joined. And we'll do the same here. I just click and drag. Hold on my Shift key. Make sure all of that silence in the beginning is there. Come up, Generate Silence. We'll click OK. And now we'll double click and it selects the entire track. And we'll do Command J. So now that we have our tracks prepared, we'll go to File, Export Multiple. And what we want to do is export our WAV files. And we'll go ahead and export the tracks based on the label name. And we'll click Export. And this portion is just telling us a little bit about the metadata. For instance, it'll tell us the artist name. I know one of the vocal artists is DeMarcus Hill and the other is Tanya Valentine. And I'm just going to go ahead and click through all of these. And it lets me know that it exported the 3 files with no problem. So remember, one of the most important things you need to do is if you have a character's voice that's starting later, make sure that you fill that with silence, and then you'll want to join those. And I would probably do one more test of playing everything through before exporting. Then once you're ready to export, you can also select to have it overwrite any old files in case you had any errors.